Hello. Welcome to our Course in Miracles Study Groups series on the characteristics of God's teachers. We have discussed 5 of the characteristics of God's teachers. Trust, believing in the truth. Honesty, knowing who we really are, the Son of God. Tolerance, releasing all judgment, enabling us to see with Christ's vision. Gentleness, extending God's peace and love. Joy, glowing with gratitude. What wonderful gifts forgiveness brings. Now, the 6th characteristic of God's teachers is defenselessness.
God's teachers have learned to be simple. They have no dreams that need defense against the truth. They do not try to make themselves. Their joy comes from their understanding who created them. And does what God created need defense? No one can become an advanced teacher of God until he fully understands that defenses are but foolish guardians of mad illusions. The more grotesque the dream, the fiercer and more powerful its defenses seem to be. Yet when the teacher of God finally agrees to look past them, he finds that nothing was there. Slowly at first, he lets himself be undeceived. But he learns faster as his trust increases. It is not danger that comes when defenses are laid down. It is safety. It is peace. It is joy. And it is God.
We believe that our defenses protect us as others attack and try to hurt us. But the Course tells us that it is only the ego's thought system of our sin, guilt, and fear that we really protect and defend and make real by our defense.
You make what you defend against. And by your own defense against it, is it real and inescapable? Lay down your arms, and only then do you perceive it false.
What if we realized that our defenses were the ego's way of protecting itself from our remembering God and His love for His Son, the self that is who we are? Would this make any sense? If our defenses were protecting the enemy and its lies, wouldn't it be better to set those defenses down? The Course says that if we do set them down, we will see that our defenses are only foolish guardians of mad illusions, that there is nothing to defend against, that there is no enemy. There is only illusion that we chose to believe. As we are willing to seek the Holy Spirit's thought system of the miracle, forgiveness, peace, and love, we will build trust in the simple truth. What God has created needs no defense. The next characteristic of God's teachers is generosity.
The term generosity has a special meaning to the teacher of God. It is not the usual meaning of the world. In fact, it is a meaning that must be learned and learned very carefully. Like all the other attributes of God's teachers, this one rests ultimately on trust. For without trust, no one can be generous in the true sense. To the world, generosity means giving away, in the sense of giving up. To the teachers of God, it means giving away in order to keep. This has been emphasized throughout the text and the workbook, but it is perhaps more alien to the thinking of the world than many other ideas of our curriculum. Its greater strangeness lies merely in the obviousness of its reversal of the world's thinking. In the clearest way possible, and at the simplest of levels, the world means the exact opposite of the teachers of God and to the world.
Generosity, giving away in order to keep. Can the world understand this? Not at all. It is only in the Holy Spirit and in the love of God that this can be realized. The ego's illusory world tells us that giving away is giving up. It is sacrifice. It is loss. We learn to trust as we become willing to let the miracle undo this thinking. And it takes trust, deep, profound trust, to see through the lie of loss.
The teacher of God is generous out of self-interest. This does not refer, however, to the self of which the world speaks. The teacher of God does not want anything he cannot give away, because he realizes it would be valueless to him by definition. What would he want it for? He could only lose because of it. He could not gain. Therefore, he does not seek what only he could keep, because that is a guarantee of loss. He does not want to suffer. Why should he ensure himself pain? But he does want to keep for himself all things that are of God, and therefore for his Son. These are the things that belong to him. These he can give away in true generosity, protecting them forever for himself.
A Course in Miracles explains a fundamental law of the mind regarding giving and receiving, one that operates all the time. It works in both the Holy Spirit's love and in the ego's world. What we give, we receive. But we must look beyond the illusion of material valueless things to learn how this law manifests. Regardless of how it appears, the ego can only give through projection, through giving away the sin, guilt, and fear that made it. These then return to us as pain, suffering, and loss. In the interest of our true self, that is the Christ, we can extend the love of God, for that is what truly belongs to us, and that will return to us. This is what we can give in true generosity, the eternal, perpetual love of God. Trust in this love shatters that lie of loss. Defenselessness and generosity, both are opposite to the world's thinking. The miracle changes our perception. It undoes the thinking of the world. Ask for a miracle. It is yours right now.